Hi, welcome to the Lifestyle Herbalists, the podcast where holistic wellness meets everyday living. I'm your host, Dabney. I'm a registered dental hygienist, a clinical herbalist, and a certified health coach.
And I'm your co-host, Sabrina Cooper, a registered dental hygienist with a bachelor's in oral health promotion, a certified culinary nutritionist and herbalist, and a mindfulness and mindful eating coach. Together, we explore the intersection of holistic health, herbal wisdom, and joyful living. From plant-powered remedies to kitchen medicine, mindful moments, and conversations that feed the soul, we're here to help you feel vibrant, grounded, and inspired in your daily life. So steep a cup of something soothing, settle in, and let's grow well together one episode at a time, bringing you a healthy dose of happiness.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lifestyle Herbalists. I'm your host, Dabney. I'm a registered dental hygienist, clinical herbalist, and health coach. Today we're going to continue our series on the wellness questions, what people are asking in 2026. And this one has actually become a question I've been asking myself. If you've been following me for a while, you know I eat pretty healthy. I eat plenty of vegetables, healthy fats, wild-caught fish, eggs from my own chickens, and I do my very best to nourish my body. Yet lately, I've noticed something that's made me stop and pay attention. By the end of the day, my lower abdomen feels, a little bloated. I wake up feeling great, but by evening my clothes fit differently. At first I found myself thinking, what am I doing wrong? What's going on? But instead of becoming frustrated, I became curious. I started paying attention to my patterns. And one thing I consistently notice is that gluten almost always makes my bloating worse. Another thing, carbonated water. I drink a lot of water. I fill up my water bottle in the morning with just regular tap water. I put in my electrolytes and I drink it throughout the day. But sometimes in the evening, I want something just a little different. So I will grab some carbonated water. And even though it's a healthier choice than a sugary soda for many people, I realized that if I drank this carbonated water, often I felt more distended by evening. And there's actually some research suggesting that carbon dioxide in carbonated beverages can increase gas in the stomach, which may contribute to bloating in people who are already prone to digestive discomfort. That doesn't mean that sparkling water is bad. It simply means that my body was giving me information. And I think that's the biggest lesson that we can learn. Our symptoms are not our enemy. It's simply communication. And today I wanted us to look at bloating through the different lens, not as something to silence, but as something to kind of understand. So our bodies are always talking to us. And one question I ask my clients is this: what if bloating isn't your body malfunctioning? What if it's your body communicating? I truly believe the body whispers before it screams. A headache, dry skin, bleeding gums, fatigue, poor sleep, constipation, and bloating. These are all little nudges asking for us to slow down and pay attention. As a health coach, I don't believe my job is simply helping people to get rid of their symptoms. My goal is helping people become detectives of their own health. Instead of asking, how do I make this stop? I encourage my clients to ask, what might my body be trying to tell me? As a dental hygienist, I can't help but to bring the mouth into this conversation because digestion doesn't begin in the stomach. It begins the moment the food enters our mouth. One of the first questions I ask when someone tells me they're bloated is, how are you chewing? It sounds almost too simple, but think about it. Many of us eat in the car. We answer emails during lunch. We scroll on our phones while eating dinner. We take 3 bites, swallow quickly, and move on. Meanwhile, our stomach is left trying to do the work that our teeth and our saliva were supposed to be doing in the first place. Chewing breaks down food into smaller particles. Saliva contains enzymes that begin digesting carbohydrates before food ever reaches the stomach. And when we rush this process, the rest of our digestive system has to work much harder. Sometimes one of the most powerful digestive tools isn't a supplement, it's simply slowing down. And I have to say, I have been guilty myself of standing at the bar with my plate of food eating my breakfast because I have things I need to do, and I am guilty of this as well. Also, one thing I want to talk about is, as a hygienist, I have a deep appreciation for saliva. We swallow about 1 liter of it every day, and it's filled with enzymes, minerals, and protective compounds that begin digestion and support the oral microbiome. When we're stressed, dehydrated, or taking medications that reduce saliva, we're not just dealing with a dry mouth, we may also be affecting the very first stage of digestion. So our nervous system matters. One thing I see over and over again is how stress affects digestion. Our digestive system functions best when we're in a relaxed state. The rest and digest mode is our nervous system. But let's be honest, many of us spend the majority of our day rushing from one responsibility to the next. And when our body perceives stress, digestion doesn't become the priority. Blood flow shifts away from the digestive tract, stomach acid production may decrease, and digestive enzymes aren't released as efficiently. Food may move differently through the intestines. Even healthy foods can suddenly feel difficult to digest. Sometimes we don't need a different diet, we just need a calmer nervous system. Another thing to think about is your stomach acid. I certainly have talked a lot about that in my podcast and my direct emails. So this surprises a lot of people. When someone experiences heartburn or reflux, the assumption is that they have too much stomach acid. But for some people, particularly as we get older, stomach acid production can actually decrease. Without enough stomach acid, protein isn't broken down efficiently. Minerals like iron, magnesium, calcium, and zinc aren't absorbed very well. And food can sit in the stomach longer than it should. And this can contribute to gas, bloating, and discomfort. Now, this doesn't mean everyone should run out and start taking a hydrochloric acid supplements. If you have reflux like ulcers or gastritis or take certain medications, those supplements may be appropriate. But this is an area where working with knowledgeable healthcare professional is important. And one thing that I have noticed is that people who have been taking the HTMA, hair tissue mineral analysis test, it often shows people are low on their stomach acids. So there are ways to find out if you have too much or too little. Thank you for joining us today on the podcast. I wanted to pause and give a shout out to our sponsors. First, Great Ghee has become a favorite in my kitchen. I love having high quality, nourishing cooking fat made with simple ingredients and right here in Virginia. If you would like to try this yourself, use the link in the show notes and you'll receive 10% off your order with the code Dabney Vaccaro. We're also very grateful for Defender Shield. As we talk often about reducing our overall toxic burden, Defender Shield offers products designed to support healthier technology habits. Use the link in our show notes and receive 5% off your order. And finally, if you've been thinking about growing your own food, Survival Garden Seeds makes it easy to get started. Whether you have a large garden or a few containers on your porch, they're offering our listeners 10% off through the link in the show notes. Now let's get back to the show. For me, gluten is one of those foods that constantly gives me feedback. That doesn't mean everyone needs to avoid gluten, but for me, it is something to pay attention to. Our bodies are wonderfully unique, but if you've been experiencing bloating for months or years, it may be worth just keeping a simple journal. When do your symptoms occur? Is it after certain foods? Is it after eating too quickly? After stressful days? After carbonated drinks? Patterns often reveal themselves before lab work does. And oftentimes we kind of forget what it was we ate on a certain day that made us feel that way. But a journal is a written document and it shows us those patterns. It's a wonderful way to connect yourself to the symptoms that you're having with your body. One of my favorite things about being both a dental hygienist and an herbalist is seeing how beautifully connected the body really is. Things like bleeding gums, bad breath, dry mouth, changes in the tongue. These are not just simply problems, and they may not be dental problems. Sometimes they're clues pointing towards inflammation, digestion, nutrient deficiencies, or blood sugar imbalances. The mouth isn't separate from the digestive system. It's the beginning of it. And herbs are often wonderful supportive ways to help our digestion. Nature gives us some wonderful tools. Marshmallow root is incredibly soothing for irritated digestive tissues. Ginger can help stimulate digestion and can ease occasional nausea. Chamomile supports both digestive system and nervous system. Fennel has been used traditionally for centuries after meals to help relieve gas and bloating. And remember, herbs don't replace curiosity. They support the body's natural ability to heal while we continue asking why symptoms developed even in the first place. So, here are 5 things to try this week. If bloating has become part of your daily life, here are 5 simple things to experiment with. First, slow down during mealtime. Pay attention to how that makes your rest and digestion go. Chew each bite until it's almost liquid. This is a part personally I struggle with, chewing until it's almost liquid. Take 3 slow breaths before you begin eating. Notice whether gluten, carbonated beverages, dairy, sugar, or other foods constantly trigger symptoms. Take a gentle 10-minute walk after dinner to encourage healthy digestion. Notice I didn't say these are cures. Think of them as invitations to listen to your body. You know, one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is curiosity. Not fear, not frustration, but curiosity. Our bodies are incredibly wise, and it's constantly communicating with us. And if we give it the tools it needs to heal, it's miraculous. Our bodies will heal. The question is, are we listening? Hey, thanks so much for joining me today. If this episode encouraged you, I'd love to hear that you shared it with someone who also struggles with bloating or digestive discomfort. And if you're looking for personalized support through health coaching, hair tissue mineral analysis, or oral systemic wellness, I'd love to walk alongside you. Until next time, keep listening to your body, keep asking questions, and remember that wellness isn't about perfection. It's about paying attention. I'll see you in the next episode of The Lifestyle Herbalist. Take care.